This is a combination of two stories. One of a good joke, and I love a good joke, a good prank. Yes, I do. I like a good prank, a good joke, a good laugh. But also, it's going to be serious too, because just to set the tone up, 23 or 2.3. There we go. Sorry, my mistake. 2.3 billion in weapons for Ukraine. But before we get to that serious matter, let's have a good joke. Now, this is all right now breaking, and Hillary Clinton, Hill Dog herself, on alleged phone call with Russian. It's Putin's pranksters. You've gotten pranked. That's a terrible Russian impression. But if somebody could do a really good Russian impression, hey, just go ahead and do it. But here, this is from Hotspot. It's a good prank, but you're going to witness some things. You're going to hear some things from Hillary Clinton herself. Now, again, this is all alleged, right? Alleged phone call with these pranksters. Let's go ahead and play it.
Introducing Secretary Clinton.
Hello, this is Hillary Clinton.
Hello, dear Secretary. I'm so glad, so proud to hear you. I'm really glad, and I'm really happy. But the situation, I'm constantly follow your statements.
Now, the thing is, just to be clear here, this is from a little bit from back in the day. Just hear me out. This is the former president of Ukraine, and these guys are trying to be his voice.
And I know that you are in a group of Yermak Rasmussen, and you know that the situation is anyway. It's quite different, and the problem
Yes.
is when we will receive the help, when we will receive the aid, and the problem is that we now with these new conditions we have to get back money for the credit, and it is it is
Well,
difficult.
I think we'll take it. I think we'll take it one step at a time, and then I'm told that it's been positioned so that it can be moved as quickly as possible to you in Ukraine. So I'm hoping that the aid gets there very quickly in time to do some good for you.
Okay. Well, but the problem is when we see another threat, it is a case of coming elections in the US, and when the president will be different, it will give us some problems, because as we see, we are ready to fight, and we fight as we can. But I see that the problem is what is Donald Trump is saying.
You're right. It is terrible, and I am doing everything I can to reelect President Biden, and I am very hopeful that that will be the outcome in November. But obviously, it is a very difficult time in this country. But I really believe that it's important for Ukraine to continue to do all that you are doing, and I really commend you for your support. You've been a very strong voice on behalf of your people and your country, and let's take it, as we can, giving you the means you need to support yourself to try.
Now, again, let's talk about these means to support themselves. Billions upon billions of dollars of aid has been sent to Ukraine. A huge amount of treasury. I never, ever want to hear again from anybody saying that it's impossible or that we can't have, social programs to help out working class Americans. We can't do this. We can't do that. So we can't invest into our infrastructure. I never want to hear that. I never want to hear that again from Democratic or Republican lawmakers. But the interesting point is going to be brought up very shortly about how stupid this war is.
Try to not only hold the line, but engage in an offensive, and then obviously many of us in this country will do everything we can to reelect President Biden.
Well, I hope so. I hope though, because you know that President Trump hates Ukraine, and it is not good news for me. and the situation is complicated around aid. And you know that a lot of Republicans, it is difficult to understand in
Well,
Ukraine.
look, I think that you're right to be concerned. I would never tell you not to be, because he's a very dangerous candidate, and he would be very bad for the United States as well as for the rest of the world, including Ukraine. But I do think that the more that Ukraine can continue to demonstrate its resilience and its resolve, and do what you're doing on the battlefield, do what you're doing in a very strong message to the rest of the world. So that has to be your understanding, that you go forward as best you can, and the rest of us will do everything we can to continue supporting you and to support President Biden.
So, as you all can see, it's all a game about how we need to do everything we can to support Biden, even though there's a ridiculous war going on. Now, what you heard at that point, Clinton is admitting that, Hillary Clinton is basically saying that the war in Ukraine, that people must continue to go on the offense, and that Trump is dangerous for the whole world. Both Biden and Trump are dangerous to the whole world. No one's excited for this. No one's excited to see who sits in the throne again. Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. I think we all remember the first time we went through it in 2020, and it turns out the repeat in 2024 is very stale, it's very boring, and it smells. And no, I'm not hinting at the fact that Joe Biden probably crapped his pants, but this is where we're at.
May I ask you, you know that I was the main initiator of Ukrainian joining to NATO. What does your inner circle?
I remember.
Yeah, I put it in the Constitution of Ukraine as a special article.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
And what does your inner circle
look?
say?
I think it. Yeah, we are working very hard to persuade the Germans and the Americans to move on this. I don't know what the final decision will be, but as you say, Rasmussen and Yermak and others are working very hard.
Yeah, I really hope on next NATO summit in Washington that we will get. If we do not receive any official invitation, it will hurt our reputation very hard at this moment. As I see.
Well, I support it, and I support it, and I know many people who do, and we will be working to make the argument as strongly as possible.
Yeah, and the problem with Russia that we can strike with them, but unfortunately, after Navalny's death and the relocation of the opposition, it's not so easy to work inside. Many of the oppositioners are fighting on our side now. They say that it is necessary and useful to fight their propagandists.
And speaking of propaganda, let's talk about the biggest propaganda boost that they're going to get. U.S. promises another $2.3 billion in weapons for Ukraine. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin met with his Ukrainian counterpart, Rustem Imroy, at the Pentagon on Tuesday, where he said Washington would soon announce a further $2.3 billion in military aid for Kiev. Austin also received an update on the dynamics on the ground in Ukraine's conflict with Russia and reassured Europe that Washington's unwavering support. During the meeting, the U.S. official highlighted American efforts to fulfill Ukraine's most urgent military requirements, including $2.3 billion in additional security assistance that will be announced soon, according to Press Secretary Pat Ryder. The Pentagon has yet to unveil the exact contents of the next weapons shipment, but the package will reportedly include a significant number of air defense interceptor missiles. I'm proud that the U.S. will soon announce more than $2.3 billion in new security assistance for Ukraine. This package under presidential drawdown authority will provide more air defense interceptors, anti-tank weapons, and more critical munitions from U.S. inventories. Kiev reported operates at least 4 Patriot missiles provided by the U.S. and Germany. But Ukraine's Vladimir Zelensky has demanded that at least 25 units to cover the country's needs in conflict with Russia. Washington, however, has been reluctant to send more launchers, instead encouraging its European allies to share their anti-air capabilities with Kiev. So there you go. We got that. But also, there is another thing too, and that is we cannot forget just a few days ago, especially after that disastrous debate that Joe Biden had with Donald Trump, Zelensky in a super fast rush to negotiate with Russia.
3 years of fighting with Russia, Zelensky is finally ready to come to the table and figure out a peace deal.
Oh, don't worry. And yes, I am well aware that the prank has yet to be made. I'll be getting to that. But I want to explain the severity of the situation when you have blind Clinton people, blind Democrats, blind vote blue no matter who people in a super fast rush to embrace unending forever war.
No, we've all seen the propaganda. Ukraine's winning. They're holding the line. Russia can't break through. But the reality is their numbers are dwindling. Ukrainians are dying unnecessarily. And even Zelensky admits it. He is ready for this unnecessary war that was driven by NATO to come to an end.
We don't have too much time because we have a lot of wounded and dead people on the battlefield and through civilians. That's why we don't want to have this war during years. So that's why we want to prepare this joint plan, put it on the table to the second peace summit.
The problem is, even though Zelensky is ready for this war to come to an end, NATO isn't quite ready yet. In fact, very soon after Zelensky made these comments, NATO announces a Kiev post that will Trump-proof all aid that's sent to Ukraine, effectively sabotaging any potential plans for Zelensky and Putin to reach a peace deal. NATO will put a senior civilian official in Kiev amongst a bunch of new measures in order to shore up long-term support in Ukraine, which effectively means Ukraine will go from being an unofficial NATO proxy to an official NATO proxy. And now Zelensky and Ukraine will learn, like so many others, that the only thing more dangerous than being an enemy of the United States is being an ally of the United States. Because like I said, just a few days ago, Zelensky was ready to do whatever it took to speed up ceasefire talks. Then he got the bat signal from NATO, and whenever Turkey introduced a ceasefire plan to speed up those peace talks, Zelensky refused. He refused within 24 hours of NATO making that announcement that they were going to put an official in Kiev.
And so what can we take away from this? No matter how this plays out, Ukraine is now forever attached to the military-industrial complex in the USA. And then that's where it leads back to our fantastic friend, Hillary Clinton herself. People like her promoting these forever wars. There's never an end game or a victory. It's more suffering. So let's continue on with this funny prank because we haven't reached the end yet.
Some of their ideologies.
Well, I know some people, some people feel that way, that, but on the other hand, that's one of the reasons why Europe has done more to help you than I think any of us would have predicted, don't you?
Yeah. Well, the problem is that we also need to fight inside Russia.
Yeah. Everyone has a stake in making sure that you are successful in pushing pushing the Russians out as far as you can. And I don't know what is actually possible, especially with this new weapons. And I know
Careful with touching the keypad, Hillary.
that inside the appropriations bill, there was language for even more weapons.
Thanks, dear Secretary. I think that the dictators didn't learn their lesson after Gaddafi.
Interesting. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think that's true.
But as I mentioned, the main threat is Trump. The main threat is Trump because he will ask for money back. It will be a disaster. After all, he wants to end the conflict on Russia terms. And if you remember, when I was president, we were looking for his connections with Russia. But when Trump became a president, they just started interfering with me. They were already looking for any compromising evidence on President Biden, on Burisma, and even on you and his administration. Were asking me, can you help us?
I know. He's a very bad guy, as I know.
He's a very bad guy, that Trump. Oh, and you guys are angels. The amount of war profiteering and scandals surrounding everybody in the Democratic Party. And yes, the Republican Party is just as corrupt. But it's one big club, folks. When they start saying that person's a bad person, well, ask yourself, what about you? I mean, are you a good person? Because chances are, probably not.
Personally, from
Yeah.
having to run against him, he's a very, very bad guy. But let's Peter, let's take one step at a time. Let's get this material. Let's get it to your soldiers. Let's try to get some of the Russian frozen assets. Let's work on NATO. You know, if the worst happens, if Trump were to win, we will all have to figure out what to do. But I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, and I think that we can request a hearing in the parliament to find something on him before the election. I think that he has problems in the court. It is because of that mutiny and that was made in 2020. And I think that we can attack him from different sides before the elections.
Good. Well, anything you can do to attack him, I'm all for, because he's a very dangerous man.
Yeah, I can send my people in the U.S. From the embassy to
well,
work.
thank you for
I can send my people. Hillary's like, oh, you don't say.
reaching out. Thank you for reaching out to me.
Yeah, thank you very much for your help. Thank you. What, by the way, how is Bill? What does he think?
Oh, he's very, very good, and you know, he's helping Biden also. He and I have done. You know, we've been helping Biden in every way we can, and we will continue to do so. But I will give him your greetings. I remember.
Yeah,
remember when we were all in Yalta in 2018?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, but he's a great.
God, that's an evil laugh. Here, just one more time.
Right. Yeah, but he.
You know what that reminds me of? Remember the ending of Batman 1989, the film where Jack Nicholson's Joker falls to his death, and there he is on the concrete ground, and you hear that laugh track, the ha 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 ha. That's what it sounds like.
Right. Yeah, but he.
It sounds just like it. It sounds just like it. That laugh track that from the Joker in 1989's Batman.
He's a great man, because he started extension of NATO, and many countries as Poland and and his job should be finished with Ukraine, because
he's very supportive, and we're gonna keep doing all that we can to help you.
Thank you very much, dear Secretary. And I would say that I would call you Vice President. But for my thoughts, I thought that it would be great if you will go as a running mate with him, with President Biden, because I think it will strengthen your team. So it's.
Why are you laughing?
Good idea. Just sorry about my statement.
No, you're doing what you need to do. You're standing up for your country. I appreciate that.
And I stand for your country. And God bless America.
You bet. And Slava Ukraina. I hope we can see victory, or at least a lot of progress, okay?
Yeah, and we will see a new Gaddafi soon, I hope.
A new Gaddafi?
Thank you, my friend. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. And send greetings to President Clinton. Bye.
Fucking pure gold.
We'll pass it on. Thank you.
Thank you.
So how else should we end this? Well, it's a funny note. You see, there's been recent reports coming out and articles being written how Ukraine is too corrupt to join Ukraine. Now, it could be maybe a proxy, a good puppet. We've seen this before. But this is the face, this is the body of a man, Zelensky. The seats are being taken away from him. The chairs are being pulled away. He doesn't have anywhere to go. And it's 12 seconds of confusion. There's Zelensky. Hold on. Get your hands off that. We're taking that. We're taking this. We're taking this. No, Zelensky, you can't sit there. No, Zelensky, you have nowhere to go. That's where we're at now as a people witnessing firsthand billions of dollars of weapons and aid and other resources going to Ukraine. Meanwhile, on the front line there, men are dying. People are dying for a stupid war that shouldn't be happening in the first place. It's oligarchs versus oligarchs. Meanwhile, it's the people that suffer. All of this could have been avoided. And with the disastrous debate that Biden had with Trump, Zelensky can see, maybe above that pile of snow that he has, that the good times are over, that the gravy train is officially going to end. Now, whether or not Trump, should he get elected into office, is able to do a ceasefire, I mean, that is yet to be seen or heard. We shall see if that happens. I don't put too much stock or faith behind these politicians to do the right thing, because doing the right thing is an anathema to a politician. They have no idea about right and wrong because they are not good people. Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, all of them have made a career in enriching themselves and having all of us suffer. There's a promotion for a war that could potentially lead us to World War III. So I like a good joke. I like it when people get pranked, especially those in power, because for too long, their smugness, their arrogance always seems to go in their favor, and it always seems to protect them. We got to remind ourselves that these people who are in positions of power are only there because of our silent, obedient consent. And the fact that everything's falling apart for the Democrats is pure gold. Till then, we're stuck with a two-party system. But dare I say, we could get to a better future, but we can never let them do this to us again. These wars have to end, or else next time, there won't be a next time, and there will just be a tombstone of humanity all across this planet. We got to be better, folks, or these sociopaths will destroy us. We all know it.